What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Wild Talk. I am your host, Wild Bill TV, joined by my lovely co-host, ZooTube94. Zoo, how you doing today, brother?
I'm great. How about you, bud?
Oh, I am doing great, man. Thank you very much for asking. I am excited about tonight's episode. I think I said that after. Yeah, I think I said that after our first episode as well, that I was excited. So I'm probably just biased considering it's our show. That's why I'm excited. But I am excited to talk about some of our little talking points that we have for tonight.
Should be fun.
Evil, what's going on, man? He says, yeah, dogs. Damn. Yo, Jonas, what's going on, brother? All right, so do we want to just dive right into it and get to our first topic? Or do we want to kind of highlight what we're going to talk about? It's not a long, I will say this, guys, it's not a long one tonight. We only have 4 topics. I think we might have had 4 or 5, but I feel like we talked a lot on our first episode. Yeah, so I feel like this one might not. Yeah, I feel like this one might not be as long, but that's fine. I want to try to keep these episodes to, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes, an hour max if possible, but usually 30 to 45 minutes. So, but all right, well, why don't we just jump right into it? The first thing that we have to talk about tonight is one of the most popular games in today, right now, Among Us. Yep. So for those who don't know what Among Us is, I believe we might have touched on this a little bit in episode 1, but Among Us is a game where you can play with up to 10 people. You go on to a spaceship, that's the first map, and basically you can set 1, 2, or I think up to 3 imposters. And basically what you...
4.
Is it 4? Okay, so what you do is the crewmates who are not imposter have to finish tasks and complete all of their tasks to win the game. The imposters are out trying to kill everybody, and basically it's trying to figure out who the imposter is and voting them off so the crewmates can win. But it becomes very, very hectic, and a lot of people think they see things, or sometimes crewmates are in the wrong place at the wrong time. They get accused of being imposter, and they get thrown off, and the imposters can win. So, for those who don't know, Among Us is available on the PC, and it's on all mobile devices, I believe. Android, iPhones, tablets, all that kind of stuff. So it's crossplay.
$5 on Steam.
$5 on Steam, free on mobile. Yeah, so it's crossplay throughout all those platforms. So a lot of people have been playing this game because it's so easily accessible. But Among Us has actually been out for about 2 years now. It's only come into recent popularity because a few streamers started playing it, and it just kind of snowballed. It took effect from there. So what we were going to have, the developers were going to create an Among Us 2. And recently they decided to cancel Among Us 2 and work solely on Among Us. And they said that don't worry, all the features that were going to be in Among Us 2 will be brought to the original Among Us, because right now they're riding high with, I mean, it's one of the most popular games today. You know, it's soared. So with that being said, we finally have our first patch since they have decided to cancel Among Us 2 and put out, you know, everything that they were working on in regular Among Us. This isn't everything. This is just a small little patch, but it's our first one since they've announced they're canceling 2. So, what are your thoughts on the patch right now? Do you want to go ahead and let us know what's all in it real quick, and then we can talk about it?
Yeah, so they added 3 things. The first thing being anonymous votes. The second, taskbar visibility. And the third, colorblind support. Excuse me.
Right. So the one thing I want to say for taskbar visibility, for those, again, who don't know what Among Us is, there is a taskbar at the top left-hand part of your screen, and basically that is a way for you to track progress as a crewmate to see how close you are to completing all your tasks, aka to winning the game. So what a lot of strategies that imposters run right now is you walk around and you act like you're doing tasks to blend in. What a lot of crewmates are doing, if they suspect somebody of being an imposter, they will follow the imposter around and watch them do tasks, quote unquote, and then if they see the taskbar not move, they say, hey, that guy's an imposter, let's vote him off. So I want to jump right into the taskbar visibility first.
Yeah.
I personally...
It's probably the biggest one.
Yeah. So there's 3 ways now that you can do taskbar visibility. You can have it always on, which is the old way prior to this patch.
Yep.
You can do only in meetings. So meetings are called whenever a dead body is found, whenever somebody wants to have a conversation. You only get 1 emergency meeting per person. That's for you to discuss if we think, you know, so-and-so is an imposter, if Red's the imposter, whatever. So you can do it in meetings, or you can have it set to never. I don't know how I feel about never. I kind of like it, but I think in meetings is probably going to be the best one.
Yeah, it's good to have options. So I'm glad that they set that you could have it or you could not, or maybe sometimes.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
do.
always
Yeah.
good to have that customization.
Yeah, I feel like the in meetings is kind of like the gray area, right? I'm glad they didn't just make it it's always on or it's never on. I'm kind of happy that they put it in the middle and you can have it if you want it, just on those sometimes, because that's gonna really so it can get annoying if you're imposter. So the way that becoming imposter works, it's all randomized. So you could play, and I've had this happen to me. I played for 5.5 hours one night, 5.5 hours, and I got imposter twice. Games only last maybe 10 to 15 minutes depending on how long or how many players are actually in the lobby. So if you think about how many games we played or I played in that 5.5 hours to only get it twice, that kind of sucks. So as an imposter, if someone were to follow me around and check the taskbar to my fake tasks that I'm doing, that would be annoying because let's face it, playing as the imposter in that game and going around and killing your friends is fun. That's the whole point. It's a very fun time. So
Yeah.
I like the fact that they got rid of the option to have it on always. I think in meetings is going to be or should be the new standard. When I play, I think that's what I'm going to keep it set as is to in meetings only. So there's none of that, whining and complaining. Oh, he was watching, he was following me, because I hate that. I understand it. So I think that's going to be the biggest change in this patch.
Yeah, it especially for me, I like it so much because I've always been like watching it when I'm the imposter. I'm like, crap, I gotta
Yeah.
start killing people. I gotta
Yep.
keep going. So I
Yep.
think it's gonna like smooth my gameplay out,
Mhm.
make sure that I'm like not trying to rush and then get caught. So
Yeah, that's
it's really good.
I didn't even think about it from the imposter side of things. I was thinking just from crewmate. Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah.
from the imposter side, that's a good idea, because it does make your gameplay sloppy as an imposter. Because if you do see the bar getting up there, then you're like, I got to start making kills. And you need to make calculated kills. Because if you accidentally kill someone and someone comes right around the corner, they see you, you're screwed. Yeah. So
unless you can convince everybody else.
right, which is sometimes very hard, but especially in our friend group when we play, it seems to be nobody believes, and whenever they say they saw somebody cut them in half, no one believes anybody.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes, but no, I think in meetings is our best one, or the best option out of the three that they have available. How do you feel about the anonymous votes, the other option they added into this patch?
I don't know. It's strange that that's like the first thing that they went for to
Yeah.
add to the game, because I don't know. I don't know how it would feel to have like everything anonymous. Like just somebody gets kicked out and like.
So I haven't.
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't played on this new patch just yet. I believe it just came out on the 12th, I think, which was 2 days ago. So I haven't played since then. I can't remember. I think it was out on the 12th. But so I don't know exactly how it looks in game. I don't know if you can only do anonymous vote once, if you can do it every single time. I personally don't like the anonymous voting option because I feel like it divides the crewmates more. And hear me out why, because the whole point of the game is to get a unified, as crewmates, get a unified response or reason why you think red is the imposter, right? So now if you have 3 out of your 5 people voting anonymous, and they might not be voting for red, you don't know. Like, you're not unified anymore. You're just all broken apart on your own thing. And that is what the imposter wants. The imposter wants you guys to not be unified. I feel like the anonymous votes do not help with, bringing the crewmates together to make a solid choice. I don't know.
Yeah,
Now, they don't have to be used. They don't have to be used. Right? You don't have to vote anonymous. I'm just saying, if you were playing, say, with randoms or anything, I just feel like it's not going to really... I don't know. I don't think it's going to play out the way that they might think it's going to play out, or maybe I'm just thinking of it incorrectly.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it, that how like Survivor or Big Brother, they have like anonymous voting. But then I'm kind of thinking like, well, people can't really talk to each other like privately like they can.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it'd play out.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. I do want to play it again. We have to play it again sometime. So I'd like to see how the anonymous voting goes. But as of right now, before playing it, I feel like it's really not the best, update. I mean, it's cool that they're adding new features, but I can't wait to see what we actually get for these Among Us 2 features. I don't know how far along they were with Among Us 2, what features they're even, thinking about implementing. So I can't wait to see what they do to keep the game fresh, bring more content to it. I know it currently has 3 maps. I'm sure they're working on more. So I'm very excited to see how the game, kind of progresses because, right now I don't want it to fall into the trap that, Fall Guys kind of fell into. You know what I mean? That was,
Yeah.
About a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, or 2 months ago, it was the biggest game out on Twitch, out on every streaming platform. Everybody was playing it. And then it just started dying because all of a sudden everyone's like, it doesn't have enough content. It's literally the same thing. Plus, I heard it got just overrun with cheaters where people can just.
Oh yeah.
So the point of Fall Guys, I never played it, but you have to do like basically parkour, and you do it against like 150 other people, and you got to be the first one to finish or the last one alive, whatever, just like a battle royale. I heard people were cheating; they could just literally fly to the finish point, which just completely ruins the game.
Yeah, that was a big problem. And then recently they just came out with season 2.
Mhm.
That kind of revived the game a little bit, but not as much as when it first came out.
Yeah.
So we'll see what comes up.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't want Among Us to fall into that Fall Guys. Not trap, but
Kind of
situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last update we talked about for Among Us was the colorblind support. The one thing I read about that was a lot of players who were doing the wiring task. And for those who don't know, you have to drag a red wire to the red wire, blue to blue, yellow to yellow, and then orange, I think, is the fourth color. Don't remember.
I think
Or
it's pink.
Is it pink? Okay, it's pink. There was a lot of colorblind players who could not, discern the colors, from one from the other. So they supposedly added some support to kind of fix that, which is nice because I'm sure with how popular the game is, there are a lot of people who are colorblind in the world who probably wanted to play the game and ran into issues with that task.
Yeah, it's just making it more accessible to other people.
Yep, which is good.
Can't really play it.
Yeah. So on to our next topic, which is another patch or update for a game. One of my favorite games that I play. It drives me crazy sometimes, but I think it's supposed to. I think that's one of its main functions. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I know we talked about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War in our last episode. We were talking about the alpha. But on to the Modern Warfare update that just came out yesterday on October 13th. So this was kind of a Halloween update. We're getting into the season. 'Tis the season right now. The spooky season, that's right. They did add 27, which I think is a lot. I don't know how many they add normally, but they added 27 new cosmetic bundles for Modern Warfare and Warzone, which I think is a big amount. Again, don't know how many there are, but there are a kind of some cool ones in here. So since it's Halloween related, they have one that is Saw, all the Saw movies, the I want to play a game guy. They have him in game now. They have Texas Chainsaw, yeah, which is kind of cool. And then there was one other one that I thought was really dope looking, and I can't remember where it. Oh, the Die on the Vine, the one with like the scary looking pumpkin. I don't know if you actually looked at any of the. Yeah.
That one was cool.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how many they usually implement into the game. I think 27's a lot. One thing that I thought was pretty cool that is currently in the plunder game mode. So again, for those who don't know Call of Duty Warzone or plunder, you basically drop into a map and you can find random loadouts and weapons and things on the ground, and you can pick them up and use them. One of the things that they added with the Saw bundle, so if you purchase the Saw Halloween bundle, when you use a throwing knife to kill somebody, just a regular throwing knife, it'll hit them, but then it makes the drilling noise. Like if you were, I can't remember which Saw it was in, but he had to drill, was it through his hand or something? I can't remember where he had to drill, but he had to do something to get, like, the key to break himself out. And it's actually the drilling noise, and you can see the knife spinning in the dead body, which I think is pretty cool, right? It's just a little feature, nothing too crazy, but I think it's kind of neat that they added, just a little bit of attention to detail there.
Yeah, that's really nice. I didn't even know about that.
Uh-huh.
Is the knife changed at all, or is it just
no? So
for the knife?
It's just an effect for the knife, so it still looks like a regular throwing knife, which I guess they can't completely change everything about it, but it's still just the little things that they added.
Yeah.
But there is some other updates to this actual patch that they put out. It's not just skins, it's not just cosmetics. They did add a new shotgun called the JAK-12, which is basically the AA-12, like that automatic shotty that has been like in every Call of Duty. The crazy thing about this, so if you remember, the Origin 12, which is also an automatic shotgun in Call of Duty, was super overpowered because of its fire rate, because of not even really its damage, just its fire rate is really high up there. But it did not have the famous incendiary rounds like some of the shotguns do. And again, for those who don't know, incendiary rounds, when you shoot somebody with them, they catch on fire. So as well as taking damage from being shot, they are now on fire. But the Origin shotgun didn't have that because it's an automatic. That would be overpowered. Why would they add that? Well, guess what? The JAK-12 is a fully automatic shotgun. It has explosive rounds and incendiary rounds. So the explosive rounds are exactly what they sound like. You get shot and then you take damage after explosions. And then the incendiary rounds are what I described. You get shot and then you catch on fire.
Are the explosive rounds affected by the one things that you put on top of your cars?
Trophy systems, no, they are not. So I don't know how that's going to work because it's not a frag grenade or a C4, right? But it's still explosive. So I don't know if I would expect a trophy system to stop them or not, because it is ammunition. It is a bullet, but at the same time, it's exploding. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about the explosive rounds.
We'll have to see how much damage it does compared to incendiary.
Yeah, so you have to unlock the gun, right? It's not just given to you right away, but it's very simple to unlock. All you have to do is get 3 kills with any shotgun, I believe, in just 7 different matches, which is not a very hard thing to do.
That's really easy for an overpowered shotgun.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how overpowered it is. It's just came out yesterday. The patch was just released. The patch was released today. These were the patch notes that were released yesterday. So we'll see how it goes. I know a lot of people already have it unlocked. Jonas, he already has it unlocked, of course. I don't know if he's played with it in Warzone to see how overpowered it is yet, but from what I was watching him in he was playing just regular multiplayer. It seemed pretty solid. So we'll see how that goes. I'm surprised they chose to add another automatic shotgun when a lot of the shotguns that are already out there are kind of OP. The R90 is still rampant in Warzone and I'm sure multiplayer with its incendiary rounds, but surprised that a shotgun was the move there.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be releasing any more weapons or.
Yeah, I don't know if any more.
War is close.
Yeah, November 19th, I believe, right? We're almost just a month away. Or is it 15th? So. Is it 19th or I think it's 19th.
I can't remember.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm surprised they put another gun in. We knew Season 6 was happening. There was 2 weapons in the Season 6. Battle Pass. I'm surprised another gun did come out. I can't imagine any more will. I'd be surprised if any other seasons even come out at this point because I feel like they're going to start focusing their efforts on, Cold War. So we'll see what happens with
next game.
Or the next game. Yeah, that's very true. But it would be because you don't have to buy. This is going off on a tangent. You don't have to buy Cold War to play Warzone. So they could, if they really wanted to, have like a few people dedicated to just kind of doing cosmetic stuff and releasing cosmetic things. Maybe not necessarily seasons, but for the Modern Warfare guys who don't buy Cold War, possible.
We'll just have to see how it plays out.
Yeah. So those were all the cosmetics and the new gun being added. That's not the biggest update or the biggest patch thing in this update, right? The biggest update is that you can now, on PC only, I don't know if you can do this on consoles. I don't believe you can. On PC only, you can reduce the size of your game by getting rid of parts of the game you don't want, which is massive.
Huge.
It's huge. It's massive like the game. Yeah. The game itself is like 240 or 250 gigabytes or something insane, which is crazy. People have literal hard drives or solid state drives dedicated to just Modern Warfare because of the size of the game. And it's only taken, a year and a half now for people complaining about it for, Infinity Ward and Activision to do something about it. So you can remove literally any part of the game you want minus Warzone. Warzone cannot be removed. So if you only play multiplayer, you cannot remove Warzone. I don't know why, but you can remove campaign, multiplayer, and Spec Ops and just get rid of all those completely so you can free up some space on your hard drive.
That's really interesting. They would remove everything but Warzone.
Yeah, there wasn't...
if you're a multiplayer fan.
Yeah, I don't know.
You just don't care.
Their patch notes are very scarce, and they did not give a reason behind. At least I didn't see in the patch notes. I don't know if they've had a different conversation somewhere else, but I didn't see a reason behind why Warzone was the only one that stayed where you cannot remove it. I know it's a free-to-play game, but that's like saying, well, we're just going to install every free-to-play game on Steam on your hard drive because it's free-to-play. Like, you'll just keep it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want it. If I don't want Warzone, why can't I remove it? I don't know. Unless, like, if you... I honestly don't know. I said, they didn't say in the patch notes. So... But it is huge because I don't know how big Spec Ops multiplayer and campaign are. But for me, for somebody who plays solely Warzone, just strictly Warzone, like... That's pretty big for me. Like, I can at least remove campaign and Spec Ops. Maybe keep multiplayer if I want to grind some camos out. But Spec Ops, I legitimately have not touched ever. I don't think I've ever launched it. Campaign, I played once already. I don't really see a reason to play it again. So, I mean, it was good.
You
but
can always just re-download it.
Exactly. You can always re-download it. So, that's pretty big news for what?
Do you know if you could re-download just parts, or do you have to re-download the whole thing again? And then...
So, like, if you remove... Like, what do you mean?
So, like, say I have the full game, and I uninstalled only campaign. Or, no, I uninstalled campaign and Spec Ops. Do I have to re-download the whole game just to get campaign back, or can I just download that one part?
I would assume, this is a big assume, that you could download just campaign. I don't know. I can't imagine they would make you download the whole game back, like campaign and Spec Ops, just to play campaign. But that I don't know. Again, patch notes, not their strong suit. They don't really list out a lot of... Their patch notes didn't even list this new shotgun they added. It was found in game. Like, you just found it in game. The patch notes didn't even list it. So, you know, there's that. It was really more about the, hey, look, we added 27 new cosmetic, packages for you to buy. Bundles.
More money for us.
More money, baby. But yeah, so I think that's the biggest one. That's going to save a lot of PC players headache because, it's not expensive to buy another terabyte hard drive. I mean, you can get a hard drive for, I don't know, $70, $60. But who wants to put games on a hard drive nowadays? Now you want to buy a solid state. So now you're going to get a terabyte solid state drive, probably around 80, maybe 100. You can obviously go higher if you want to get something nicer. But it's like, why do you want to do that? Just because one of your games is taking up 250 gigs already of space. So this is a little nice update that they added.
Yeah, it's just a little unnecessary step for you to take.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to go into the next topic?
Yeah, lead us in, brother. Lead us in.
So, when was the event? Yesterday?
The 13th, yes.
The 13th, the new iPhone 12 was announced.
Yes, it was.
It's so beautiful.
It is beautiful, and I am surprised at some people do not think it's beautiful. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because it looks like the iPhone 4 to me. And I mean, obviously bigger. The iPhone 4 was way smaller, but like that whole rounded edges, the stainless steel bands on the side, like it looks like the iPhone 4, just obviously bigger and updated and newer. No home button on the front, right? Which I always thought the iPhone 4 was probably the nicest iPhone that they released. The glass back, the glass front, like it was just nice. Like it was beautiful. So I'm personally happy that they're going back to this design. That, like, the rounded edges, the glass backs, all that kind of stuff. So I'm happy they're going back to this design. But there was some, and by some I mean a lot of uproar, of negative comments coming from this announcement, this event that they had. Biggest one being, they are no longer going to include a charging block or earbuds in the iPhone box, and they said,
dongle, right?
There's no, that's not in there anymore either, I don't think. And the reasoning for this is to save the environment, is what they claim. That's good on them. It's good on them. I'm glad that they're trying to push towards something to save the environment. Apple's always been a green company. They their new I can't remember the name of their building, their campus that they had, that big round circle where the event was held. Apple Park, yes. That's all like solar powered and stuff. So they've been a green company for a very long time. They're always striving for, sustainability and stuff like that. But
that's one of my favorite parts about Apple. Like, even though like every consumer doesn't care about how their getting better for the environment,
Mhm.
they still put it in their all of their events just to show you we're doing this because we want to,
Yeah, no,
and nobody cares.
yeah, it's
But I love
usually
it so much.
it's looked over most of the times, but the only reason it's being brought up now is because they're removing things, and the arguments are, well, they're removing everything and they're charging us, I think it's $100 more than the phones were last year. So the iPhone 11.
Yeah.
The phones themselves are all, just $100 more than, their predecessors, right? So people are complaining about that. They are complaining that you are going to be getting a USB-C cable in your box, which all of your phones, a lot of newer Android phones are using USB-C, I will say that. But all the iPhones,
really?
yes, all the
I
iPhones
didn't know that.
have been using USB-A. And USB-A is literally just your standard USB. It's like that little square one that, you go to plug it in and you got to flip it over because you put it the wrong way. And then you realize that's the wrong way, so you flip it back over and it magically goes in. That's USB-A.
Yep.
So that's what plugs into your charging block, which goes into the wall. And then the other end is the lightning cable, which goes into your phone. So the phone, or the cable they're giving you in the box is a lightning cable that goes in your phone, but the other end is USB-C, which looks very little, very small, doesn't fit into like the charging block.
It's oval, ain't it?
It's oval, yeah. So it doesn't fit into the charging block that everybody has had since literally the first iPhone, right? Like the charging block on the first iPhone used USB-A. It's been the most widely accepted, standard for, USBs for I don't know how many years. So, it's literally go look at a computer from like 1995. Like it's in there. Do you know what I mean?
Aren't the new MacBook Pros using USB-C?
They are, which was a nice surprise for me because I didn't know that when I bought mine, and it was USB-C all around. So I had to get USB-C cables to charge my phone and plug my phone into my Mac. So I have a USB-C cable. But the one thing that I will say about this uproar, I'm in agreement. I think it's kind of ridiculous that they're switching to a USB-C cable and not giving us a USB-C charging block. That's kind of... How can you switch it? But you can buy one, by the way. The Apple's not shy.
Yeah.
Hey, you can come buy a charging block from us. They're $20, which also comes in a box. Just the box itself, like the charging block that you plug into the wall in your house is $20, which also comes in a box. So I don't know how environmentally friendly that is. I have to buy 2 boxes now. I get my iPhone box, and then I get the box that my charging block is coming in. So I have 2 boxes now. Not very environmentally friendly. But the one thing that I don't think people understand is it's still a lightning connector on the bottom. I've been seeing a lot of people saying how they have to go buy all this new stuff to charge their phone. You can use any previous USB-A charging block and lightning cable to charge your phone. So I understand we're not getting a charging block in the box, and I think it should be. How much does that cost Apple to make? $1, $2 maximum? It's literally a piece of plastic to plug into your box.
A little bit.
Yeah. So I think it's a little ridiculous we're not getting the charging block, but it's still a lightning cable charging. So you can use any of your old iPhone charging cables. I think lightning started on the iPhone 6 or maybe the 5. So as long as you've had a lightning cable
I think 5
for the last, 7 years, you can charge your phone. Which I've seen a lot of misinformation. People are saying, how am I going to charge my new phone? I don't have it's still like you can still use your old one. And a lot of Android phones use USB-C. So if you're switching from Android to iPhone, you'll have a charging block. The only people who are really screwed is if you're coming from like a BlackBerry, because I don't know what they use. I have no idea. I have no idea. So
what does Google use?
I would assume USB-C. I would assume USB-C, right? I feel like a lot of phones on Android side have switched to that. Apple's always a little behind on what they do. Their adoption is a little slower. But so they did announce the iPhone 12. That's the name of the phone. We didn't even talk about what the phone was. It's the iPhone 12. Yeah. They announced 4 models, which is a lot of models. And I am an Apple fanboy. All right. I've had iPhone since the iPhone 4. I have my Apple Watch on. I got a new Mac. So I'm going to sound like I'm shitting on them right now, but I hate the naming scheme of all the phones. So iPhone 12, sure, whatever. That's cool. Like, it's standard. We have the 11. We're moving to the 12. Cool. But then you have the iPhone 12 mini. Then you have the iPhone 12 Pro. And then the phone that I'll probably get is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Why does it have 17 names? Like, why couldn't we have just come up with, like, my phone? I have the iPhone XS Max. You got the XS or you got the XS Max? 2 different ones, 2 different names. Yeah. Now we got 4 phones with 4 different names. It just seems a little And that's not the only phones they're
ridiculous.
selling. They have the iPhone SE, which is the 2020, like, so it's not like,
Yeah.
there's just a ton of naming to this, which I think is just a little ridiculous. But I personally probably would go with the Pro Max. I don't know if you've looked at getting them. I have a 2-year-old phone. I'll probably upgrade.
Yeah.
I unfortunately didn't get to catch the event live. I had to watch it afterwards, so I felt like I was behind on everything. Stupid
Yeah, I
work.
was
I had
texting
I
you
had to
during it.
work. So the differences with these phones right now, though, is you cannot get some of them. So okay, so pre-order starts this Friday, the 16th, for the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro.
Pro.
And those will be released on, like, in store, and your pre-orders will come to your house on October 23rd. The 12 mini and the 12 Pro Max, you cannot pre-order until November 6th, and then they won't be shipped to your house, or you go buy in store until November 13th. So there's a whole month in between, when you can pre-order the first one, like the 12 and the 12 Pro, to their new mini and their Pro Max. Now
Let
you
me
might,
ask,
yeah.
do you think that's gonna swing which way people buy?
I think it will a little bit, simply based on the fact that I was under the impression, because again, I didn't watch the event, I had to watch it all afterwards, so I was just kind of like looking at
Yeah.
things online. So when I first saw everything being announced, I was under the impression that I was going to get my 12 Pro Max. I was going to pre-order my 12 Pro Max this Friday, and then get my phone on the 23rd. Well, now I'm not going to. It's probably not going to sway my decision to go to the smaller phone. But I don't know many differences between the Pro and the Pro Max besides the screen size. So the Pro is 6.1 inch screen. The Pro Max
Okay.
is 6.7, so 0.6 of a difference.
Yeah.
Not much. But it also has I don't know how you pronounce this word. I'm probably going to say it completely wrong. A LiDAR, LIDAR scanner built into like into the Pro Max's camera, which helps with, I think, stabilization and, like, you know how they always have like their zoom, like their electronic stabilization when you zoom super far. Something with that LiDAR like helps with that. So I think there's one other difference, and I can't remember it right now off the top of my head. So there's not many differences between the Pro and the Pro Max. So if I really wanted, I could go with the Pro this Friday, save a little bit of money, because I think it's like $100 off from the Pro Max. So there aren't
it
many
is.
differences between the Pro and the Pro Max, which, I don't know. It might sway some people to just get the Pro right now on, this Friday, because they don't want to wait.
Yeah.
So what do you, because I know you have an iPhone, and you have an iPhone, right? Yeah, you have the,
Yeah, I have the XR.
I can't remember. Yeah, okay. So will you be upgrading or no?
I will not, because I'm jobless.
Okay.
But my dad said he's been thinking about it. Maybe like next year, grab the
Is he going to
the
get,
XS Mac, or not XS, the Max Pro.
okay. Is he going to get the gold one? Because the gold one is really
Oh,
sexy. For
man.
those who haven't seen it, you got to look up this gold one. Even if you don't like iPhones, even if you don't want an iPhone, the coloring scheme of the gold one is gorgeous.
And that's only for the Pro and the Pro Max.
Yes, you cannot get that on the 12 or the 12 mini.
Because for the Pro and the Pro Max, they have a stainless steel
Mhm.
edging instead of on the 12 and the 12 mini. They have an aluminum.
Mhm.
But oh man, the stainless steel, it shines. And it's so.
It does.
pretty. love it so
I am
much.
torn between what I'm gonna get. I think it's gonna be the gold, but I also like their. It's not called space gray anymore. I can't remember what they call their darker version. It used to be black and it went to space gray, and now it's something else. It's graphite. I think they call it graphite.
Yeah, graphite. And then they have white, I think, right?
Silver is what they call it, but it's the
Silver,
white
and then they
front, and then
Midnight blue.
Midnight
which is
blue.
really pretty too.
the midnight blue was nice. I'm not a super big fan of like just blue, even though my lights are blue behind me right now. So I kind of just goes against what I just said. But it is nice. Out of all of them, I don't really like the white one, the silver one. It just looks like the basic iPhone. Like, it just looks like a basic phone, Like, the other colors are at least nice. Nicer, at least in my opinion.
More
So-
modern, I guess.
So let's talk about the ear pods that are not coming in the box as well. Just a quick, touch on this, because we're not getting the charging block. We're not getting the ear pods either. The ear pods, I could honestly care less. Do you ever use the iPhone
Same.
ear pods? Like, ever?
Yep, I have AirPods. So
You have AirPods. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
so that's another thing that I saw some people complaining about, saying that they're not going to get their free pair of headphones, that they're not going to, that they should be in the box. Even if you don't use them, they should be in the box. I kind of agree with it because, like, why are we going to get rid of them? But at the same time, like, I could probably have, like, 5 pair lying around that I've never even unwrapped to, like, take out of the packaging to use. Like, I don't know if I got weird ears, but after a while, they hurt, like, my ear hole. Like, I can't leave them in too long. The sizes are too big. So it is literally...
They fit me perfectly fine, so I'm really happy about that.
Do they? Well, that's good, yeah. So I don't really see the complaint on this, besides the fact I think people are just complaining about it because it's something that we're used to having, and now all of a sudden we're not. So I think that's kind of why... Yeah, I think that's why people are complaining about it, which I get, I understand. But yeah, the earpods I could really, really care less about,
Yeah, and then the dongle. If I don't have
the little lightning to 3.5, is that confirmed 100% not going to be in the box?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Is it? Okay. I didn't see that, but I wasn't 100% sure. But it also doesn't surprise me since they're cutting down on everything else. It doesn't surprise me that that's being removed. Okay, we're moving and grooving. We're about 40 minutes into this right now. We do have one topic left. Yeah, I can't believe it's been 40 minutes already, actually.
That's crazy.
We do have one topic left. Zoo, I'm going to kind of let you start off on this one as well, because I think you have a little more talking points than I do, but I'll be chiming in.
So, I just found out, as of recently, about this great show called The Boys.
Yeah.
An Amazon Prime exclusive. Amazon Prime Video exclusive.
Great show. Oh, real quick, hold on. Before we get into this, for anybody right now who has not seen season 2 of The Boys, not that we want you to, there's going to be spoilers. You're probably going to want to drop off, going to want to stop listening, stop watching, because there will be spoilers for the entirety of season 2. So if you haven't seen it, one thing we can say right now, it's an amazing show.
It's great.
Go watch it. Amazon Prime. You have to have Amazon Prime to watch it on their Prime Video service.
All episodes are out now.
Yes, all episodes are out now. Zoo, go ahead.
So, season 2 just ended on last Friday, which was, October
8th, I think? 9th.
October 9th. So we finally got the end of it, of the season 2. So I grinded through season 1 2 weeks before, and then I just grinded this whole season out.
Yeah.
Last Thursday. And it was great. I really loved the way that they took everybody. I felt like it was very, like, true to their character. They didn't go off or anything. So, what did you think of the second season as a whole? So the second season
as a whole, I loved. So for those who don't know and who are just kind of sticking around to listen about what The Boys is, it's a show about superheroes who are, we think, in the first season, are born this way. They have magical powers. They were gifted from God to have magical powers, right? Throughout season 1, we start to see that these superheroes aren't really as good of people as you would think. There's one main character named Homelander. He's like the Superman of the group. He literally wears an American flag as a cape. He flies around. He has the laser beams out of the eyes. And there's one scene in the movie where he's going to a distress call. A plane is coming down, a mayday, plane's coming down, and he flies to the plane and he realizes that he can't save everybody. So what does he do as a what would a superhero do? Superman, we know, he stops the plane and he sets it down gently, right? I guess that's not a reality in The Boys. So what Homelander does is he gets on the plane, he sees that everybody's freaking out, everyone's asking him, help us, please help us, help us. He leaves the plane, lasers it in half so it falls quicker and basically everybody dies. So that's that's what these superheroes are. It's basically, the show is showing you then that superheroes aren't these amazing people that, Superman and Batman and Spider-Man and everything is made out to be. It's kind of like an alternate universe where superheroes are kind of dickheads.
Just regular people.
They're regular people who, if they don't want to fucking help you, they're not going to help you. They don't want to, like, whatever. So that's kind of the premise of the show around what these people are. So Homelander, again, their main person is he's like their Superman character, right? Yeah. I loved in season 2 how, like, he just, throughout the course of the episodes, that he just kind of, like, lost his mind. Like, he was just going, he was getting so, like, just riled up over little things. He was going fucking nuts. And then when he meets Stormfront and they finally hook up and they are a couple, like, you know, they kill that one guy robbing the bank while they're having sex. Like, do you know, or he didn't rob a bank, but he was like in the alleyway. Like, they just went on a rampage basically, of just like insanity because she was crazy. We come to find out that she was a Nazi, literal Nazi. Was, you know, she married the guy who created Vought Industries, which is what the superheroes are all a part of. Vought Industries.
Yeah, the company.
The company, yeah. Which is just wild. Did you like Stormfront's character? Before we knew she was a Nazi, like before we got into all that kind of stuff, did you like her character?
I did. It was like interesting because she was kind of like that. Oh, I'm the hip new young kid, and I'm here to like, hey, old man.
Yeah.
I'm the cool kid. You're not anymore. I was like, okay, I see what they're going for. And then like after her story is unfold and we know everything about her, I'm like, this is super cool. I really like the way they took her character.
So this is gonna come off sounding weird the way that I'm gonna say this. I did not like her character at first. I liked her character, and again, it's gonna make me sound bad, after we found out her past, because then her character to me kind of made sense, because I felt like she was just doing stupid shit just to be like, it seemed like she was just another like Gen Z on her phone just trying to like just do TikTok and shit and Instagram, and I'm like, making memes. I'm like, this is dumb. They're just trying to like pander to us. But then it was because she was trying to rile up a crowd around Hitler, you know, the Nazis. He was trying to rile up a crowd around him and get everybody on his side, which is what she was trying to do. So at first I didn't like her character because it just seemed like they were trying to like push this new girl on us, like, because she does memes and she's funny. Oh, she has a shaved head. Like, wow, she's so edgy. But then it turns out that it's actually, there's like a legit reason behind why she was doing the things that she did, which is why I liked her character after the fact. I didn't like that she was a Nazi. I don't support or sympathize with Nazis. I was just saying that it tied her character in, which made it more like, okay, I get the reasoning behind all of the things that she was doing. Do you know?
Yeah.
So
it was really interesting how her and Homelander's relationship was.
Yeah.
Because like he was still like losing his mind, but she was still kind of there like holding him off from going off the edge.
Yeah, she kept him from going off the edge, which is
cool just to see that.
Yeah, which was crazy because if you have a Nazi, I don't know, a white supremacist who's a part of the Nazi party who is keeping you from going over the edge, where is your edge? Like, that's crazy.
And
but
he didn't know that.
And he did not know that until like the very last episode, I think, right? Isn't that when she talks to?
I believe so.
Okay, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
That was one of my points.
This is all for kind of us talking about to people who've already watched season 2. I can't give a backstory on the whole thing. Basically, Homelander has a son with this woman that he raped, who happens to be our other main character's ex-wife. Well, wife, but he thought she was dead because they took her and hit her. So anyway, like, I can't explain everything because we would literally be on this podcast for hours to explain the entire show out. So you just need to know where we're at. So, yeah, Stormfront tells Ryan, Homelander's son, like, hey, there's people who are trying to stop our race, and we need to, what does she call them? A white something.
It's called white genocide.
White genocide is what she called it.
Yeah. To hurt us.
Yeah, they're trying to hurt us. And basically, the point of her saying this to Ryan, Homelander's son, is so he can think deep and access his superpowers, because his mom is raising him as a normal child to not, think that he has superpowers, which Ryan is special. He's the first actual born that we know of superhero at this point. So that's pretty impressive, because everybody, as of right now, has been made into a superhero using Compound V and all that other, shit that they were doing at Vought Industries. So that's pretty impressive that he is already, he's the firstborn superhero.
Yeah, he's a big part of it already. I thought what was really interesting about that scene is Homelander's right there in front of them while Stormfront's telling his son this, and he's just like, interesting, I didn't know that about you. And then he's like, cool, I'm about it. I was like, what?
Yeah, he seemed like at first he seemed like he pondered. He was like, and then he was like, all right, we'll move on. Like, he accepted it and didn't like say anything, which I don't know. I didn't expect. I know he's crazy, and we were talking about who's been going crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to be down with white genocide, but
Yeah.
I guess he is. I don't know. So
We'll have to discover that more in season 3.
we will find out more in season 3. Speaking of season 3, you were actually telling me that we are now off of the source material. So again, for those who don't know, The
Yeah.
Boys is based off of a comic, which I don't know how long. Do you know how many issues there were?
I don't know how many issues, but I know it ran through 2006 to 2012.
So I
So it
don't
ran for 6
understand
years.
how they took 6 years of. I would assume it has to be a decent comic to turn it into a TV show. How did
Yeah.
it take 6 years and only turn it into 2 seasons?
Well, I know they had a bunch of like other like one-off stuff
Mhm.
that was like in the main comic, so it's still considered The Boys.
Okay.
So they didn't take every little thing from the comics.
Okay.
So they just I don't know if they're gonna be taking some stuff from there because I heard that Black Noir has like a really dope story
Oh,
in
really?
the comics.
So we're waiting
Yeah,
to see what happens to him
really
because
wanna read it.
as we
We
last
know
know, he's in
nothing about him.
as we last know, he's in the hospital right now because he has a peanut allergy or something, and
No, he has a nut.
yeah,
or
nut
a tree
allergy.
allergy, ain't it?
Oh, tree allergy, whatever it is. Maeve
I
gave
can't
him
remember.
he has some type of allergy, and he's apparently in the hospital right now. So we don't know
Yeah.
much about Black Noir, but yeah. So I'd like to see what they do. Like, are they gonna? I'd like to see if they pull some info from 6 years of source material is a lot of
Yeah.
material that you can pull from. So I'd assume they'd be pulling, some stuff from those comics for season 3 and probably a little further.
Yeah, apparently it's great. I want to read it, but just haven't gotten into it yet.
Yep.
So we can only hope for the best.
What do you think about the ending? So there's two things that I kind of want to talk about the
Which
ending.
one are you talking about?
Well, we
What part
have
is the ending.
well, there's actually a lot of things in the ending we could talk about. We could talk
Are you
about
talking about Homelander's triumph on top of the building?
his triumph. That's a good way to put it. So Homelander is gone crazy. He's basically all of the other superheroes basically tell him like, hey, well, no, not all the other superheroes. I'm sorry, Maeve, which is his Wonder Woman.
yeah.
Maeve is Wonder Woman. Like, to make a comparison between these people, Maeve is Wonder Woman. Like, she dresses like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
She, literally Wonder Woman, just not the same colors. It's like the same kind of outfit though. Maeve was also on the plane that Homelander shot down, basically, and he flew her away. They realized they couldn't save everybody, so that's in season 1. So she found a GoPro of that footage of Homelander shooting the plane down, and she says to Homelander, you can just act normal, basically, like cut all this fucking shit, stop acting crazy like you are, lose all of the fans that love you. He loves attention. For those who don't know, he loves attention. Lose everybody that loves you, and I won't show this, or I'll show this and you and I will both go down and we'll both be destroyed. So he chooses to just relax, and because he loves attention and he loves people seeing him. So they show that video off, and his triumph that Zoo's talking about is him standing over the city as if he were like Batman, like looking over Gotham City. But instead of him just watching over the city, he is masturbating over the ledge, screaming, or not screaming, but just saying, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah, I can do whatever I want over and over and over again. And you like pan out to this like wide shot of him just pants down, masturbating over the city, which is kind of wild that they went with that and ended it.
Apparently, they want to put that in season 1, but Amazon was like, "Nah, we can't."
We can't do that, and we got it in season
But
2.
I guess they changed it. For season
Yeah,
2.
that's interesting. I mean, because like The Boys, a lot of shit happens, man. Like there's some like the first 2 minutes of season 1 really sets the tone of what like the show is going to be about how the superheroes are kind of dicks. There's this one guy named A-Train. He's the Flash, basically. He's super quick, speed, and one of our main characters is walking with his girlfriend on the sidewalk, and A-Train, you don't see him coming, runs into her and explodes her into
Obliterates her.
a million pieces. And they were holding hands, and our character is left with holding just his girlfriend's hands whenever she explodes into a million pieces. So that kind of sets a point, or this is how this show is. So him
Yeah.
doing what he did over the rooftops, watching over his city, saying he can do whatever he wants. Totally, I understand why it was put into the show. But I think the biggest twist for the ending was the Congresswoman, and I don't remember her name. Do you know her name? Elena. So there is a Congresswoman throughout all of season 2 who is trying to get Homelander and other superheroes basically jailed and held accountable for a lot of all of Vought basically for all of their heinous acts they've done. There's a video that surfaces of Homelander going over and killing a super terrorist, which we kind of introduced in season 2. We see him a little bit in season 1, but super terrorists, soup terrorists is what they call them, are the big thing that fear the people in America in this timeline. Fear is terrorists coming over and destroying America. So there was a video that surfaced. Homelander went over to a Middle Eastern country, killed the super terrorist, but accidentally killed a friendly in the process. So, the Congresswoman is trying to get him jailed for that, take Vought down, all this kind of shit. So for all of season 2, she is trying to get rid of the superheroes. Right? She's a good guy. She hates the superheroes. And all throughout season 2, there are random moments where someone's head will just explode. Just pop. No one's around. They're just sitting there talking. All of a sudden, their fucking head explodes into a million pieces. And what do we find out, Zoo?
At the very end of season 2, I think it's the last scene, we see this guy talking to Elena over the phone. And then after she hangs up the phone, his head pops.
Yep.
And then we think it's going to end right there, but then we see Elena outside of his window. Mm-hmm. She smiles and just walks away.
Yep. And I don't know if you noticed, her eyes were glazed over, like she was doing something, and then they come back to normal. So this entire time, this Congresswoman has been trying to get rid of the superheroes, and I think she's going to be our next soup terrorist that's a big threat, right? Because she's undercover. She's in Congress. She is running, or she's literally already in Congress, right? So she's trusted already as just a soup, hater or whatever, trying to get rid of them. Anti-soup. And she is a soup terrorist herself, which was just wild that I was not expecting her to be out there. You know who I was expecting? That bald-headed chick who broke out of I was expecting it to be her. And just way wrong. Not even close.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. I didn't expect that at all.
The biggest scene of when that happens is in a courtroom when they're about to have a doctor that raised Homelander is about to testify. Yep. And then just everybody in the courtroom's head just starts popping. And Elena is in there, and you see her staring at somebody, and then her head pops. And she's doing it to everybody. I never noticed that until after
I never noticed it.
Saw it.
Yeah, I never noticed her actually staring at them. I could tell that she was looking at them, but I never took it as she was the one making it happen. It just everyone's head was randomly exploding. All throughout the courtroom. So it just looked like she was looking around. It was oh shit, over here. I can't run this way. I'm looking over here now. I got to go this way. And it's just everyone's head just starts exploding. I never picked up on that she was the one actually causing the chaos. Yeah. And I still don't get why she killed that doctor, though. Because
my theory is...
Yeah, what's your theory? Because...
working for Vought.
Okay.
And she's looks like she's going against Vought just to cover herself. Okay. But she's secretly working for them.
Well, I mean, that would make sense because earlier on in that season, she kills that FBI agent who says they've discovered something big, and she was just about to say what it was, and her head also exploded. In front of the boys, exactly. So that would make sense that she's secretly working for Vought, just trying to cover it like she's not, in her position as Congresswoman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean... crazy show, guys. I know we kind of just spoiled all of it, literally all of it, all of season 2. But it's still a good show to watch. I would 100% recommend it if you haven't seen it. I know you kind of just got a lot from us, but I would definitely recommend going to watch The Boys if you have Amazon Prime. Zoo, do you have any?
It's the best show on right now, the best on-running show.
Yeah,
currently.
I would agree with that. There's not many other shows out right now that I enjoy to watch. Besides that, so it kind of sucks that I finished it so quickly. I literally finished season 2, I think, in 2 days, or maybe I watched the last episode on the 3rd day. I finished it very fast. This is before I had my job, right? It was last week, so I had time. Yeah. I had time to kill.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be it. That's all of our talking points for episode 2. What do you think? Do you have anything else?
Yeah. No, I'm all good.
No, you're all good? Okay, well.
Good episode.
Guys, we're just under an hour, 58 minutes right now, so we're a little bit longer than I wanted to go, but we're still right under an hour, which I think is perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed episode 2 of the Wild Talk podcast. We will be back for episode 3. I don't know when. Sometime next week. I don't know exactly when. Today is currently Wednesday, October 14th. We did our first episode on a Monday. So kind of just what works in our schedules for Zoo and I, what, can work best. But yeah, we should be back sometime next week with more topics. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this show. We definitely appreciate it. And if you guys want to come back out next week, that'd be great. For those who want to stick around and watch the actual stream after this, I will be live, most likely playing Call of Duty because I have no idea what else to play. So I'll be playing Call of Duty, but just in order for me to take this clip only without having to cut it myself, I'm going to end the stream right now. I'm literally going to be bringing it back up in a minute max. So if you want to stop back in and actually watch my stream, literally just stay in here, click refresh, click F5. You guys will be good to go. So I will be right back. Give me 1 minute. YouTube, it was a pleasure, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. As always.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. See you next week.
Bye,
Peace.
guys.